Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Video number 1 of 2. We'll make sure you guys are here tonight as we wrap up the entire day and we see what happens from now up until later, and I'll be sure to mention it and give you my thoughts. Make sure you guys are here for that. That happens later tonight, and that's video 2 of 2. We're going to start off with video number 1. What has happened so far in the day, so far this morning as we hit the early afternoon. And we've already got things popping off, including hints of what might come later in Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We're not going to talk about Loftus-Cheek here because I think the announcement might come later on, but he has landed in Milan. He is having his medical. He's doing all of that today, and the videos and everything are everywhere for people to see. So later on, we'll probably get the official announcement that he has signed for AC Milan, the unveiling, or by best, maybe tomorrow. But we'll wait and see. Let's get cracking with the latest from this morning, and we're going to start off with this whole Caicedo Mason Mount saga going on between Manchester United and Chelsea. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Fabrizio says Manchester United appreciate Moises Caicedo but are focusing on Mason Mount. Chelsea are set to enter into direct negotiations over the Brighton midfielder. Now, respectfully, we've heard this, right? And the reason why I'm pointing it out is because some people seem to think, oh no, it's the same rehash story now we're getting. I genuinely think Chelsea, before June 30th, want to get Mason Mount out the door. After June 30th, want to get the Caicedo done deal. Not before. So this is where I want to point out to you guys, don't expect much on the Caicedo front until after Friday. Until after tomorrow. So from Saturday onwards, I think we're going to start getting concrete things on Caicedo. And by tomorrow, I think we'll come to a resolution on Mason Mount. That's my opinion. I'm not saying I know things or anything. That's just my analysis, my gut feeling, the way that I see it. I think that's the strategy, and I think that's what Chelsea are willing to do. And there were little hints from earlier on about how Manchester United are wanting to stay around 55 million, but they're willing to, negotiate just around it. Not anything extravagant, not going to, 59, 60 and whatnot, no. But around that margin is something where I think they'll be happy to take the money, to sell, and Chelsea to take the money. So we'll see what happens over the next 48 hours, maybe less actually, 24, because tomorrow's the 30th. So next 24 hours, 36 hours or so, I think we're going to come to a breakthrough on Mason Mount. And then from then, it's all attention to Caicedo. And why? Because Manchester United would have got Mason Mount, Arsenal would have got Havertz and Declan Rice. The path is clear. There's no one else to go for Caicedo except us. And I think that's why I'm optimistic and I'm confident that we will get a deal done for Caicedo, and hopefully he can get to Chelsea before July 4th, because that's when pre-season training begins. So he's got to get there before then, so he meets the squad, meets Poch, they can all bond a little bit and then start training together. Fingers crossed that is how it's going to go down, and if that is how it happens, I'll be very, very happy. I can't ask for more. So give it a little bit of time, we'll wait and see what happens. Now, talking about if Mason Mount goes, a lot of not a lot. I've seen some comments in on the video yesterday, especially talking about how but Chelsea are letting all the midfielders go. What are we going to do? Well, like I've said, we have Enzo, we have Caicedo coming in. Fingers crossed. Mason Mount's leaving. We got to get someone in. That's absolutely true. Here is what I mentioned yesterday, and we got more clarification. It's Gabri Veiga. Chelsea expected to make an approach for Gabri Veiga if Mason Mount leaves. Original plan was just one DM, but so many midfielders have left that Veiga has entered the fray. £34.6 million release clause is attractive. First call by Jacob Steinberg. And that is what we discussed yesterday in relation to Jacob Steinberg. It was him that broke the story about Chelsea's interest and the possible bid coming very, very soon for Gabri Veiga, but also Manchester City's interest in Gabri Veiga as well. Personally, look, I'm on board with this. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what we can get. Can we get better? And we have to think financially here, for that sort of money. I don't think so. It's tough. You're going to have to go and start looking for players like Tchouaméni, which apparently Arsenal are thinking of. Don't even bother. It's not going to happen. So this is where I'm looking at it and thinking, no, you know what? If we were to get Caicedo, get Gabri Veiga in, who knows? Because Fabrizio did say that later on, we could possibly go and get another midfielder. If we were to try and get Lavia's looking unlikely, but a Lavia or a Kone or something of that magnitude, that could be good additional depth, and I think we'd be completely covered in midfield. So, Gabri Veiga to come in if Mason Mount were to depart, I would be very interested in seeing how that would fold. And look, right now, we have to be open with chances and opportunity. We can't be very close-minded. We're completely transforming the team. If Poch is going to be happy by getting this player, we have to judge. We have to, run with it and trust his judgment. Trust his judgment, and hopefully it works out. Because up until that point, we won't know. We have to take a risk. We can't be tiptoeing around everything thinking it's going to be okay. Sometimes you've got to be a bit bold, trust your gut instinct and go with it and see what happens. You have to. That's life. So, Gabri Veiga, I would be interested if we get Caicedo. I would be interested in seeing Gabri Veiga come in, especially for that release clause. I think it's a deal that can be done very quickly and I'd be on board. So, let me know down below what you think in terms of Gabri Veiga, and do you think we should get him? Now, the one issue that I've mentioned previous, which has resurfaced and I think is actually flipping out. I mean, if this is the direction we're going in, it's not as disastrous as people are making it out to be, but it can easily just be better. And this is where I'm going to explain. Here's the latest from Fabrizio in relation to the goalkeeper situation. According to Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea are seriously considering Kepa Arrizabalaga as their first goalkeeper and signing a new number 2 or competition. I've said before, I understand the financial constraints. I understand that we can't just be splashing, and trying to get Mike Mignon is going to cost a lot. Even trying to get Onana is proven difficult. Is there anyone else that we can really go after that's proven enough? Diogo Costa is someone that some people have mentioned. Raya is another one that some people have mentioned, and a lot of people are not really keen. This is where I want to point out two things, two sides to the story. I do think getting a goalkeeper is fairly straightforward in terms of trying to pick one of those names I've mentioned and going all out, which I don't think we've done. At the same time, I have said previously, if we compensate keeping Kepa as number 1 by getting a top striker and using that money to get a top striker, and I mean a top striker, someone that you look at and go, yes, I'll be okay with it. Why? Because when you look back to last season, we were judging the goalkeepers, we were judging the defence. The amount of goals we conceded wasn't actually disastrous. It wasn't bad. We couldn't score. That's the problem. The problem wasn't conceding. We were conceding on a normal sort of basis. We weren't conceding a lot. If we had been scoring a lot more, we would have won a lot more games, and regardless of how many goals we'd conceded, it wouldn't have meant anything. The ratio to the goals that we were conceding is pretty similar to seasons past. We didn't let in tons of goals. We just couldn't score to save our lives. So when you look at it from that aspect, yes, having Kepa in goal, I'm not convinced. As the number 1, I'm not convinced. We can do better. We can. And it would help because we would concede even less as far as I'm concerned. The one worry that a lot of people have is where teams just know, shoot from distance, it's going to go in. That's the problem with Kepa. And I can't be going into a season with that as a worry. You just can't. Because Premier League, teams shoot from distance. You have that happen, it's very easy to lose points that way. Albeit the ratio isn't a lot in terms of the goals conceded, but it's very easy to lose to lose points. So I understand the frustration on that aspect. But if we compensate by getting that money that we would have liked to spend on a goalkeeper and put that into a striker and a top one and aid the attack, I think that could help us. And I think that would calm me down a little bit. And that's something where, yes, if we get a number 2, and who knows, maybe that number 2 proves to be a little gem. Someone that you look at and go, whoa, I wasn't expecting that from him. And then maybe takes the number 1 spot. Maybe we find our way with a goalkeeper that way. It's possible. But my worry is as well, if we were to go and get a top goalkeeper, yes, we've got a top goalkeeper, but if we've not addressed the striker situation, I think we could be in a similar mess where we just don't score goals as much as we want, or as much as we can. So that's what I wanted to point out to you guys. Let's see what happens here. As I've said, ideally, get a goalkeeper and get a striker, and we don't need to talk about this. We just don't. So let's see what happens. But I don't. Poch's judgment to just be okay with having Kepa as a number 1 is what doesn't sit right with me, because I know that we all know that we need a better goalkeeper, but we have to get a better striker. That's the key, and that's my opinion. So let me know down below if you agree or disagree. Let's talk about another player possibly heading out to AC Milan. Di Marzio was telling us about Christian Pulisic, and now we've got Mate Moretto with similar situation. Here it is. Christian Pulisic and AC Milan have an outline agreement on personal terms, but there is still distance between Chelsea and Milan on price. This is a deal that I think is going to be done. I think this will be done because I don't think it's too much to ask. I think a deal is going to be fairly straightforward to come to. Yes, Chelsea at first might be asking for a considerable amount of money, but what's considerable? 25 million? Yeah, maybe we come to a deal for 20. Not the end of the world, but I think it will happen. So, yeah, Pulisic, respectfully, I think we've seen the last of him, if I'm completely honest, and he joins Loftus-Cheek at AC Milan, perhaps. And again, just like I said for Loftus-Cheek, I think it'd be good for Pulisic. I think Pulisic needs to move. He needs a new environment. He needs a league better suited to him. Somewhere where he can worry less about getting injured. All of that, right? So AC Milan on tabs. We'll see how that goes down. But I do expect Pulisic to join Loftus-Cheek. And as I said, that Loftus-Cheek announcement should be coming very, very imminently. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. There's news about N'Golo Kante. Now, he's not a Chelsea player anymore. But this is considerable. And very, very unexpected. I wasn't expecting to see this, and I didn't think Kante had the facilities for that, but turns out he does. Here it is. N'Golo Kante has bought Belgian side Royal Excelsior Verton. He will officially take charge on July 1st. We've got more. It's official. N'Golo Kante and his associates have purchased Royal Excelsior Verton and are the new club owners. The club's official press release should follow in the next few minutes. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure if that's actually been released yet. Oh no, it has. It has. We've got it here. Here it is. This is the first I'm seeing, but full media release below. Congratulations to N'Golo Kante. And we take a little click on that and you're going to get a piece of it. But yes, basically, communiqué officiel. And we have the official announcement there by the club. Now, this club is a third division club in Belgium. So you've got the Belgian Pro League, you've got the league below that, and then the league below that is where this team are in. And I think they got relegated last season, which is why they've gone into the third division. But N'Golo Kante's got himself a football club. So fair play to him. Happy days. Congratulations, N'Golo. Very happy for him, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this club's going to do in the future under his guidance. So, yeah, very, very much looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. Now, let's talk about Kai Havertz. Because I was right, wasn't I? I was absolutely spot on, and it's crazy how this happened, but here it is. Here's the Arsenal social media showing a video of this package going across in a car, possibly through King's Cross Station, getting somewhere, don't know where that is, over to Kepa's wedding, and there we are. To Kai Havertz, and that's the shirt. And look, it was at Kepa's wedding. It was at Kepa's wedding. I was right. It was obvious. It was obvious it was at Kepa's wedding. What I don't understand, I have to point this out. Why did Arsenal have to go to Kepa's wedding for this? And why did Kepa let them in? Kepa, what are you doing? This is meant to be Kepa's big day. You know, I can't imagine. But then Jorginho's there, maybe he got into his ear. I don't know. But Kepa, mate, look. I don't know how your missus feels about that, but I don't know. Has this taken a little bit of the thunder? I hope not. But Kai Havertz got his shirt at Kepa's wedding. Unreal. And yeah, you can see him. Look, I think Arsenal could have done better. I think they could have done better. You're trying to unveil a player. I think you could have done better. You could have waited at least till the wedding was over. Arranged to meet Kai Havertz on his holiday or something, and throw him the Arsenal shirt on a beach. Or so, I don't know. You know, but instead they go to Kepa's wedding. So, yeah, I don't know. Kepa's probably got a few things to answer there. As a Chelsea player, how are you facilitating that? Anyway, talking about Arsenal, I wanted to point this out because this gives an indicator as to how Chelsea are looking to do their business, and it makes complete sense. Here it is. Let's check this out. This is from football finance expert Kieran Maguire, saying Arsenal are in a strong position financially due to having their wage bill under control, which has given them more flexibility in regards to spending. That coupled with Champions League football. He said Arsenal could spend even more. This is why Chelsea are looking to, and they're happy to let players go like Ziyech for 8 million. Players for fees that are not extravagant, because we get them off the wage bill. Inter Milan are looking to try and get Lukaku with an obligation to buy, but paying that obligation over a few seasons. Which we should just reject. I mean, that's stupid. It's 25 million. You know, come on. Are you that broke? Anyway, Chelsea are looking and are happy to do those sort of things because it gets the players off the wage bill. Once you get the players off the wage bill, you have an extravagant wage bill now available. You can then go and get players, even if it means paying a big fee. It's a one-off fee. The wages is what takes you over time and over years, and you have to manage that. So this is where Chelsea will find themselves in a better position financially after doing crazy business when the owners first came in. We facilitate that by trying to get players off the wage bill. That's the most important thing. And this is why we've been letting tons of players go. And we have to. The squad was massive and they were on high wages. So I hope that explains it. We don't have Champions League football, which makes it even more important as to why we need players to get off the wage bill. Or the high earners anyway. And try and negotiate contracts that are going to be fairly low. So, or well, modest. Let's say modest, not low. I don't want to exploit, but modest. So there we are. That's the finances explained for everyone that wasn't exactly clear as to why Chelsea are taking a certain approach. And yeah, you know, we'll see what happens over this transfer window and how it's all going to end. But by the time deadline day comes, it's going to be crazy to see exactly what this team looks like. I'm looking forward to it. Now, we got two more bits of news before we wrap up. One of them is this. Understand Saudi side Al Hilal sent a huge contract proposal to Jose Mourinho earlier this month before approaching Allegri. Official proposal sent was 30 million euros per season net salary. Jose turned down the bid as he's only focused on AS Roma. Listen, you got to do better than that. You're asking Mr. Hollywood or Football Management to come to your club on 30 million euros a season. Come on. Simeone gets more than that at Atletico. You know, you have to be logical here. This is Jose Mourinho. If you want Jose, listen, at Saudi, you're going to have to cop up 50 or 60 million. Easy. Easy for him to even think, oh, you know what, maybe, not even a yes, but a maybe. This is Jose we're talking about. So Al Hilal tried. But he's dedicated to this Roma project. He really is dedicated to this Roma project. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it's all going to go in the next maybe couple of years. I don't see him leaving anytime soon. People wanting him to be long-term. Well, there you are. You're getting it. Let's see what he does. And hopefully Roma can make Champions League football next season and get themselves cracking. Maybe a possible shot at the Europa League once again. And hopefully they win it this time. Now, let's end the video with this. This is Manchester United news. Just in, the minority shareholders in Man United sent a letter to the Glazers telling them that they will sue if they accept Sir Jim Ratcliffe's offer. This came from Bloomberg. David Hellier, who's a financial journalist at Bloomberg themselves, absolutely... well, we mentioned it weeks ago, didn't we? In terms of the possible avenue that they could take by taking the club to court because of this bid. Qatar have won it. Qatar have won this bid. It's a matter of time. And I don't get why. Apparently, they've been left, not in the cold, but there's not actually been anything official done yet. The Glazers are just on standby. And I don't get what's holding them up. Like, we know it's done. Just get the club over to the Qataris and get this done ASAP and put us all out of our misery. Because the only other option right now is for the Glazers to remain and to call the whole thing off, which they're not going to do. So I don't understand what the hold-up is. Yes, there's Premier League tests and all of that, but I think that would happen after it's official, not before. So anyway, we'll see. Let me know your thoughts down below, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid is dead in the water, it seems, and that's according to Bloomberg, who, when it comes to finances, they know what they're talking about, at least in terms of news. So let me know your thoughts down below in relation to all of that, and I will see all of you later on for video number 2. So make sure you guys are here for that. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you are new, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you did enjoy this, and I will see all of you later on. Have a good one, people. See you tonight. Take care, and peace.